I find a lot of contractors have a very hard time automating and bringing processes into their company because, quite simply, they're overdoing it and they're stumping the creativity of their employees. Hi, I'm Jerry Aliberti, owner of Pro-Accel. In this video, we're going to talk about why I feel a lot of contractors overdo it on their processes, SOPs. SOPs are really, really important, especially if you're a growing contractor and especially if you want to expand beyond the region you're in right now. You need to have all your employees who are being hired from other companies bringing in their own ways of doing things to follow your way of doing things and within your organization. But here's the thing, construction requires a lot of creativity. To be great in construction, you need to be a self-starter. As an owner, you cannot stump that. You cannot take away the creativity of your employees. You need to promote creativity. So SOPs get taken way out of hand by a lot of contractors because they want to dictate what each project manager, super estimator does every day, all day long. The problem is that they become bored at their job and they leave you. So the way you develop or choose which processes you really need to push on your employees, which is really critical, is the tasks that are very typical throughout the entire organization that must be followed to move your company forward. For example, safety. Right? If you're a large enough company, you have a full safety program. What's the safety protocol if somebody gets injured? Where do they go as soon as they get injured? What hospital do they go to? Who's the first phone call or two that the supervisor needs to make? What's the paperwork that needs to get done in a certain time frame? There's many other safety protocols that need to happen. Morning huddles, toolbox talks. Let's go to accounting. How do you put together a pay requisition, a monthly pay requisition? Who's in charge of putting it together? Who's the next person that needs to check that pay requisition? At what point does it go to the owner? At what point does it go back to accountant? At what point does accountant send out the invoices to subs or vendors or whatever it may be? There's a lot of processes that should be implemented. What's a project kickoff, for example? That's a typical process that must be followed. Project startup. Who's in charge of what on a project startup? We all know that those first couple of months on a project, especially if you're a larger contractor and you're bidding 18, 24-month projects, your first couple of months are extremely critical. If you're a smaller contractor and your jobs are only a couple of months long, then those first couple of weeks are extremely critical. You need to get certain paperwork and certain stuff needs to be done those first couple of weeks because once that first shovel hits the ground, you need to keep moving. Once that clock starts, you need to keep moving. You don't want to stop because something that should have been done 3 months ago wasn't done. Estimating. What is your process of pursuing a certain project? What is your sales process? What is your business development process? Your follow-up call process? There's a lot of processes that are proven that your team should be following. However, you should not be putting processes in on how to perform typical operations. Now, personally, I have a binder that I created 21 years ago. Every time I started a new operation, I wrote down everything, all my productions, my manpower, the equipment I used, everything that went wrong, anything that can go wrong, troubleshooting, and whatever I should be looking out for the next project. Hopefully, project managers and supers and foremen are doing the same thing. If not, I highly advise that you do that. But for the sake of this video, I don't want anybody to tell me how to perform a certain operation when I'm out in the field because what went well on one project may not go well on another project because each project has got its own characteristics, it's got its own challenges, it's got its own personality. So process implementation and process development needs to be solely based on typical tasks that must be followed for your organization to move forward. Don't ever try to implement process that's going to stump the creativity and the self-starting skill that every one of your managers needs. I would love to hear your thoughts on this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, I want to hear your comments. I want to see your comments, sorry. Please like and subscribe. If this is a blog, reach out to me and let me know your comments. Thanks.